It is 8 p.m. You are standing in front of the mirror, rubbing a bloated stomach, even though you have eaten nothing but salad and boiled chicken breast all day. You ask yourself, why am I in a strict calorie deficit, doing endless cardio? Yet this lower belly fat just will not budge. Do you think this stubborn fat is a lack of willpower? Or maybe you just have not cut out enough carbs? The truth is, the real culprit is not sitting on your dinner plate. It is a microscopic world currently on strike inside your body, your gut microbiome. Science has proven that your gut is not just a digestive tube. It is your second brain, your hormone control center, and most importantly, it is the master switch that decides whether your body burns fat for fuel or hoards everything you eat as dangerous visceral fat. If your gut is inflamed and out of balance, trying to lose weight is as hopeless as driving a car with a flat tire. The harder you press the gas pedal, the faster you destroy the engine. Today, we are not going to talk about counting calories. We are going deep inside the human body to uncover the biological mechanics of your gut. We will map out a precise 4-step scientific protocol to clean out and reboot your second brain. But before we start the recovery protocol, we need to understand exactly what is happening right now, beneath that layer of belly fat. Why is it that two people can eat the exact same 1,500 calories, yet one gets leaner while the other stores fat? The answer lies in a silent war between two main families of bacteria in your gut, Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes. In 2006, a landmark study from Washington University, led by Dr. Jeffrey Gordon, proved a shocking reality. Researchers took gut bacteria from obese mice and transplanted them into lean mice that were raised in a sterile environment. The result? The lean mice immediately experienced a massive spike in body fat, even though their food intake did not change at all. The reason is terrifyingly simple. The obesity-associated bacteria, known as Firmicutes, are incredibly efficient scavengers. They possess the unique ability to extract extra calories from food that your body normally cannot digest, and they send those surplus calories straight into your fat stores. But it gets worse. Modern habits like eating refined sugar, highly processed foods, and chronic stress literally punch holes in your protective gut lining. This creates a dangerous condition known as leaky gut. When this barrier breaks down, toxic fragments from dead bacteria, known as LPS, spill directly into your bloodstream. Your immune system panics, triggering full-body chronic inflammation. This inflammation causes your stress hormone, cortisol, to skyrocket, which then locks up your cells and causes insulin resistance. Once you are insulin resistant, your body completely loses the ability to burn fat, no matter how many miles you run on the treadmill. So, how do we reverse this biological trap? Here are the 4 physiological signals you must activate to heal your gut. Signal number 1. Activating your internal sweeper. To heal your gut, the very first thing we must do is clear out the old waste. Think of your small intestine like a busy highway. If there is a constant traffic jam of decaying food, bad bacteria will feast on it, multiply, and cause massive bloating. This condition is known as SIBO, or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. The only way to clear this biological traffic jam is by triggering a mechanism called the migrating motor complex, or MMC. When you stop eating for about 3 to 4 hours, your body sends powerful mechanical waves down from your stomach through your intestines. It acts exactly like a heavy-duty broom, sweeping leftover food, toxins, and trapped bacteria down into the large intestine to be eliminated. But here is the catch. The moment you take even a single bite of a snack or drink a sugary beverage, the MMC shuts down completely. So, what is the practical step? You need to implement intermittent fasting, such as a 14-hour or 16-hour fast. However, the The most critical rule for your eating window is this: absolutely no snacking between your meals. 0. During your fasting window, stick strictly to plain water, black tea, or black coffee. This allows your MMC to operate at maximum power without interruption. The immediate benefit? Your stomach will flatten noticeably in just a few days as the trapped gas and bloating finally disappear. But I must give you a quick warning. In the first few days, your stomach might rumble and growl aggressively. Do not panic, and do not reach for food. That is not true hunger. That is simply the sound of your internal sweeper finally getting the chance to do its job. Gemini Jun Noi signal number 2. Pumping superfuel into your system using resistant starch. Now that your digestive highway is swept clean, it is time to feed your army of good bacteria. Remember those fat-burning bacteroidetes we talked about earlier? They do not eat meat, and they do not eat dietary fat. They survive on one thing: fiber. Specifically, they thrive on something called resistant starch. When you eat resistant starch, it bypasses digestion in your stomach and travels completely intact straight down into your large intestine. Once it arrives, your good bacteria feast on it and ferment it. This fermentation process produces a remarkably powerful short-chain fatty acid called butyrate. Butyrate is pure magic for your body. Not only does it heal the gut lining and drastically reduce inflammation, but it also triggers the L cells in your intestine to release a hormone called GLP-1. If that sounds familiar, it is because GLP-1 is the exact same biological pathway targeted by those wildly expensive weight loss injections. This hormone sends a powerful signal of fullness directly to your brain, and it forces your pancreas to increase insulin sensitivity. So, how do you get this superfuel? It is actually very simple and incredibly cheap. You need to add resistant starch to your daily meals. The best sources are raw green bananas, raw oats, or simply taking white rice or potatoes, cooking them, and letting them cool in the refrigerator overnight. This cooling process physically alters the starch structure, transforming it into the ultimate food for your microbiome. The biggest benefit you will notice is a sudden and complete drop in your sugar cravings. However, a quick word of caution. If your digestive system is currently weak, you must start small. Try just half a green banana a day. If you introduce too much resistant starch too quickly, the rapid bacterial fermentation will cause uncomfortable bloating. Build your tolerance slowly. Signal number 3. Replanting your microbial army with natural probiotics. Now that you have fed your existing good bacteria, you need to bring in reinforcements. To overpower the bacteria that cause you to store fat, you need overwhelming numbers and high diversity. Modern life has been incredibly harsh on your microbiome. Years of taking antibiotics, drinking chlorinated water, and eating heavily processed industrial diets have essentially wiped out the rich diversity of life inside your gut. And science is very clear on this one point. A highly diverse microbiome is strongly and consistently linked to a low body fat percentage. When your internal diversity drops, the fat-storing bacteria quickly take over the territory. To win this biological war, you must deploy new, living soldiers directly to the battlefield. Specifically, you need to introduce active strains of lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. The practical step is both delicious and easy. You simply need to consume 1 to 2 tablespoons of naturally fermented foods every single day. Excellent choices include traditional kimchi, real sauerkraut, water kefir, or a low-sugar kombucha. But you must pay very close attention to this crucial shopping rule. You absolutely must buy the products kept in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. Products sitting on regular room temperature shelves have been pasteurized. That means they were blasted with high heat, which completely kills off all the beneficial living bacteria. Furthermore, do not buy vegetables that are merely pickled in vinegar. You must choose foods that are naturally fermented using only salt and water to guarantee they are packed with living probiotics. Signal number 4. Sealing the leaks with biological cement. Now that your gut is swept clean and heavily populated with a diverse, well-fed army of good bacteria, we face one final mission. If you remember from earlier, a poor diet and chronic stress punch holes in your intestinal wall, creating leaky gut. If we do not seal these microscopic holes, toxic bacteria fragments will continue to leak into your bloodstream, keeping your cortisol high and your fat burning switched off. To repair a broken wall, your body urgently needs specific raw materials. The cells that line your digestive tract, known as enterocytes, survive and rebuild themselves using two primary amino acids, L-Glutamine and glycine, which is highly concentrated in collagen. You can think of these amino acids as biological cement. They rapidly heal and tighten the microscopic gaps between your gut cells, known as tight junctions. Once those tight junctions are sealed shut, the toxic leakage stops completely. Your immune system finally relaxes, chronic inflammation fades away, and your cortisol levels drop back to normal. This is the exact moment your body unlocks the gates to your fat stores. So, how do you supply this healing cement? The most powerful method is to drink 1 small cup of real bone broth every single day, ideally with your very first meal. This means broth made from beef, pork, or chicken bones that have been slowly simmered for 12 to 24 hours to extract all that rich collagen. If you do not have the time to cook bone broth, a highly effective alternative is to mix 5 grams of pure L-glutamine powder into a glass of plain water. However, I must give you one absolute non-negotiable rule. You must strictly avoid industrial seed oils such as soybean oil, canola oil, or sunflower oil. These cheap oils are loaded with highly unstable omega-6 fatty acids. Consuming them is like pouring acid directly onto your gut lining, triggering massive inflammation and tearing those tight junctions right back open. I know we have covered a lot of deep science today. To make sure you do not feel overwhelmed, let us combine all 4 of these biological signals into one simple, highly effective daily habit. Your gut actually has its own circadian rhythm, which means the exact sequence of when you do things is just as important as what you consume. Here is your 24-hour gut healing protocol. 7 a.m. You wake up. Do not rush to eat breakfast. Instead, drink 500 milliliters of warm water mixed with a small pinch of Himalayan pink salt. This instantly rehydrates your body while allowing your internal sweeping system, which is at its absolute peak cleaning mode right now, to finish its morning job completely uninterrupted. 11:30 a.m. It is time to safely break your fast. Start by drinking 1 warm cup of bone broth to coat and seal your gut lining. If you work in an office and cannot heat up broth, simply take an L-glutamine capsule or powder with a glass of water right at your desk. Wait exactly 15 minutes. Then, eat a satisfying lunch packed with high-quality protein and fibrous green vegetables. Do not forget to add 1 tablespoon of fermented sauerkraut to deploy your probiotic army. 3 p.m. The afternoon slump hits. Do not reach for a snack. If you feel a craving creeping in, brew a hot cup of black or green tea. The powerful antioxidants will help suppress cellular inflammation while keeping your digestive system at rest. 7 p.m. This is your final meal of the day. Enjoy a dinner that features your resistant starch. A great choice is a portion of white rice that was cooled overnight and gently reheated, or a chilled potato salad. Feeding your microbiome right now ensures your bacteria will spend the entire night producing fat-burning butyrate while you sleep. 8 p.m. onwards. Lock the kitchen. You will consume 0 calories from this point forward. This vital period of complete fasting is when your gut bacteria stop digesting food and finally begin repairing the microscopic damage inside your body. Your body is not a mindless, unfeeling calorie calculator. It is a brilliant, living ecosystem. The battle against stubborn belly fat is not ultimately won or lost on the treadmill or the gym floor. It is decided right there, inside your gut. When you finally stop punishing yourself with extreme starvation diets and instead focus on nourishing and cleaning your second brain, something incredible happens. That stubborn excess fat will naturally melt away, simply as a side effect of a truly healthy body. Make the decision to start protecting your gut today. Now, I want to hear directly from you. How old are you? Where are you tuning in from? And are you currently struggling with constant bloating, heavy gas, or stubborn belly fat that just will not go away? Drop a comment down below right now. I read them, and I will be there to answer your questions. If this video changed the way you look at your body, please hit that like button. Subscribe to Real Logic Science and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the true biology of your health. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.